Welcome. I am marketing expert and business coach Melissa Kellogg Lewick, and this is the Doing Business Like a Woman podcast, where we are exploring and teaching you how women are reinventing the way business is done and money is made to help you create greater impact and financial freedom, one business at a time. Hello. How's it going? I hope you're having a great day, start to your week, wherever this podcast finds you. Maybe you're out for a walk, driving in the car. Hello. I'm so glad that you've joined me here today for our goal mini series, number 2. So this is episode number 2, or part 2, I should say. It's episode number 60 something, but this is part 2 of our little mini series about goal setting. And like I said in the last episode, I really wanted to start out the year this way because I know we all are thinking about our goals. And yes, maybe we should have been thinking and planning them back in the Q4 of last year, but yada, yada, here we are in January, and we're thinking about the goals, and it's totally fine, right? I think anytime that we are intentionally creating plans and creating intention in our business, that it will serve us. So I don't care if you created your goals last October when you did your Christmas shopping, you early bird you, or if you're like me and you create the goals later in the year or at the beginning of this year, it's all good, right? So let's just love ourselves where we're at and continue talking about goals. So last time in the last episode, we talked about what is a goal and how I like to define it as really an aim, like what we're aiming at, and gives us direction, because it's actually, I feel like I said this last time, so much harder on ourselves to not know where we're going, not know what we're aiming for. And so it creates some direction in our business, in our lives, and we can set goals that lift us higher. And that's what we talked about last time. So if you did not listen to that episode, I do recommend hitting pause here, going back and listening to episode 61, which is our goals part 1. And we talk all about the purpose of setting goals, because I think about it quite a bit differently than many people do, many business coaches, many goal setting type people. I think about it different. And I like to think about how we can create goals that call us higher, that create growth rather than shut us down and feel awful, right? So if you're setting goals in a way that feels awful, I invite you to change because why? Why do we have to feel awful, right? We can feel challenged and excited and determined and just enjoy the thrill of the chase of a goal, but we also want it to be something that encourages our growth. So it's not just all about getting to the goal, it's about all the growth that we're going to experience along the way. And I really experienced this so intimately last year in 2022. I really got it, right? Like I really got the enjoyment and the beauty and the just pure love of the journey. And I stopped thinking about like, okay, when I get there, when I achieve this or that, then I'll be happy, and decided I'm going to be happy now. I want to enjoy my business now. And this is like the mindset hack for stopping the hustle mentality is like, I want to create a business. I want to have a business right now that I enjoy, because if it's a slog and a hustle fest and I'm worn out and exhausted and burnt out now, then how will I even know that I've gotten to there, like wherever there is, right? And so I decided I'm going to have a business and run a business that I love right now, whether I've gotten to the revenue goal I want or not. And that when I do that, it's going to make it much more likely that I'm going to get to the revenue goal. Because if we are just hustling and hustling and hustling all the time, I feel like we start to shut down and our minds almost push away the adding more clients or adding more offers or doing the things that we really need to be doing to bring in more revenue and more clients, because we're already so tapped out. We think we need more of that in order to create more money, when that's not necessarily the case. What we do need to do is create more value. And when we are thoughtful and deliberate and intentional about creating value, the money is generated and created so much easier, right? So I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I want to encourage you to just consider how you can explore your capacity to create value for your clients, for your customers, and give them what they want, how they want it, in a way that is delightful and beneficial to them. And working on those things rather than more hustling is going to create so much more money and so much more satisfaction, I think, for you and your clients in your business, right? So that's just kind of a little behind the scenes insight into what I experienced this past year. And it really made getting to that 100K so possible and so much easier than I thought it would be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of work, right? But it's totally doable that way. So, and if you think about people that are making, like, I think about this a lot because my big goal, right, is to get to $1 million a year. And if you think about like people that are making $1 million right now, they have the same number of hours in the day. And I personally know quite a few of them that I would consider my peers as coaches that also have lives similar to mine, right? Where they're moms, they are a spouse, they're not like a 26-year-old kid working in their parents' basement. Like, they have lives and responsibilities and relationships that they also care for. And so how is it that someone like that can make $1 million in the same amount of time that I make 100 grand, right? How is that possible? And really how it's possible is value and increasing our capacity to provide value. And that's how we get there. So it's kind of a little brain teaser of how we, particularly each in our individual businesses, get there. But that is the blueprint, right? Or the strategy, basically, the mindset of getting there. So that's what I'm challenging my mind with this year, is like thinking about where my capacity is to create and add more value and serve each one of you in a deeper way and a deeper level to help you get what you most want. And that will help me grow my business at the same time, right? So it works great. Okay, so back to goals, part 2. What I really wanted to talk about today is, last time we talked about the having the big goal and then having that simple plan of how that comes together. Like, as far as the capacity or the room that you have in your business for clients based on the offers that you have, like how many clients you would need to have to get to that number that you want, right? Within the current business structure that you have, or maybe you're planning to change your business structure or raise your prices or hire help or however that works. But just having that simple plan of number of clients and the revenue that they bring in to get you to that big goal number, that revenue number, right? So once we have that, then what we're going to talk about today is those next steps. And so the next steps from there is, I like to have that one big goal, and then I like to have 3 or 4 supporting goals that are going to help me get to that number, right? So for example, I'm just going to use myself as an example here. So my revenue goal for this year is 300K, right? So then I have goals in terms of, and I just split this up into my own categories. You could do yours in your categories that, because we want to ask ourselves, where do I want to see my growth, or where do I need to see my growth to get to that number, right? So for me, I have a goal, a marketing goal where I want to grow my list. That's going to help me support my big goal. I have a sales goal where I want to improve my consults and like my percentage of consults that become clients, my closing percentage. I have a goal around my finances with being profitable. And then I have a goal from my operations of really wanting to manage my time better and create a plan for my time and follow that plan. And that's one of my goals too, right? So I have these 4 supporting goals that all are going to help me get to that 300K, right? And so then what we want to do is we want to set quarterly benchmarks. So for example, with my marketing goal, I want to grow my list by a certain number for the whole year, right? And so what I did is I set myself quarterly benchmarks. So I just divided that number into quarters. And so, based on cycles, I don't even know if it should be consistent or, straight across as I'm talking to you now. Maybe I should have my quarterly goal lower for Q1 and then just gradually increase quarter, 2, 3, and 4, because I'm going to be experimenting with some advertising, social media ads. And so it might take me a little bit to get dialed in here in Q1. So maybe my list growth will be slower this quarter and then ramp up in the following quarters. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I did. I have an annual list growth number because that's one of my supporting goals. And I divided it in 4. And so I have my quarterly benchmark. So then I said, okay, so I want you to set quarterly benchmarks for each one of your supporting goals, right? And for that big goal too, right? So if you have your revenue number, if it's 100K, for example, then you know that your goal, your quarterly goal, and based on the cycles in your business, you'll know maybe, it's going to be, 40 grand in Q1 and 20 grand in Q2 and 30 grand in the following 2 quarters or whatever it is. So we set our quarterly benchmarks. And so if you think about how you want to do that for your revenue based on the cyclicality of your business, I find that it's very rare in anyone I talk to, any of my clients or me, that our monthly revenue and our quarters are straight across, even the same every quarter, right? So just be sensitive to that. And you don't have to judge that. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with your business if your revenue goes up and down. Just know that that is something that happens in business, and take note of that if that's a trend or something that you need to plan for, which I always encourage my clients to plan for in your annual planning like we're doing right now, right? So just set those goals based on the cycles in your business the best you can. And then, so that's our quarterly benchmarks. And so once you've got those all set, then you are going to break those quarters down into monthly milestones, right? So for me, if we take my marketing goal of growing my list, then I have monthly milestones that I want to hit each month. right? I need to grow my email list by X number of subscribers each month. And so then I have my strategies to do that. Like I said, I'm going to experiment with a social media ad. I'm specifically going to try LinkedIn. I haven't advertised on LinkedIn before, so I'm going to report back on that, but I'll let you know how that goes. And then, what are all the other ways that I want to get to that list growth number each month? And then I have done that for each one of my other quarterly benchmarks for my sales, for my operations, for my finances, right? I set goals within there. And then, so then I have my monthly focus, right? I have those monthly milestones. And then next, then we'll break that up into the 4 weeks. So each week, what do I need to be doing, right? I know each week I need to be, running this ad and offering my freebie on social media, going out to networking events and meeting new people and bringing new people into my universe, right? And that's going to grow my list. And little by little, I can see how my goal, my big goal, stacks up, how it all comes out. So that's how we're going to do it. And that's the level of focus and specificity that I have not had personally in my goal setting and planning in the past. And I thought it was so interesting over the past few months as I've started to think about what I wanted to do this year. I saw this strategy laid out by 2 different people that I follow in 2 different events. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a message because I've never put this level of specificity to my planning. And I love planning, and I don't know why I never have. So I'm trying it this year, and I know that. So the advice that I'm taking, with setting out my plan like this, was from 2 multi-million-dollar female entrepreneurs that I highly respect. So I know that it works for them. This is what they swear by. And so I'm going to try it. And I'm already seeing, just as we're in the first few days of the new year, I'm already seeing how it's really creating focus in my actions, right? Because I know for me and for so many people that I talk to, so many women that I talk to, a lot of times will say, well, I don't know what I should be focusing on, right? Like, I know I've got to get to this, big revenue number, but I have no idea what I should be doing right now to get there, right? And so we kind of run around like chickens without our head trying to figure out what we should be doing. Well, I feel like this plan, as I've laid it out for myself and for you, is going to create that focus and that clarity, right? So then we have this plan, and then we say no to everything else. No more shiny objects, no more anything. Let's just focus on, trust our plan, have our back, make the decision that this is how we're going to go forward. And then each month, what I'm going to do is each month, this is my addition, is to evaluate. Right? So if I said, my goal for my LinkedIn ad is that it brings in 100 new people to my list, then I'm going to evaluate that. Is that happening? What's going wrong? What can I change? What do I want to do differently? And evaluate those, make changes, and then continue on with the plan. Right? And I really feel like this is going to give me and my goals and you and your goals so much traction, so much focus, and so many data points that we can actually look at, right? And then let's see how far we get, right? Because at the end of the day, anytime we set a goal and put together a plan, it's all a hypothesis. It's all an educated guess. And so then we look at how it all comes together. Like, are we getting the results we want? What's working better? What's working not as great? What do we want to change? And then iterate those things as we go. But I feel like for me, this setting my goals and planning up this way has created so much simplicity and clarity and just so much openness. I love having a plan because then that part of my brain knows exactly what's going on. And then the creative side of my brain is just like so open and turned on and ready to just pump out all that creativity. I'm not worried about what I should be doing. I know exactly. And then I can just enjoy the creative flow and come to you with so much more value and fun and just creativity. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about this planning and goal setting. And, we're at the beginning of the year. We'll see how it goes, right? It's going to be so fun, but I am really excited about this year. It was so fun watching all of I love watching all the TV on New Year's Eve. And I felt like there's so much optimism. And I just wanted to take all of that in and just like mirror that out to everyone that I came in contact with, just so we make that a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like this year is going to be amazing, you guys. And that is a decision that I have made and desire that I have to have a great year, to experience so much joy and fun in my life and in my business. And I wish that for you as well. And I really feel like setting these goals, setting up a plan is just going to help you that much more with that. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And if you're using it, if you have used this type of process and how it works for you, right? I'd love to hear all about it. Ping me on social media, or also I would love, if you have enjoyed this podcast, I would love it and be so appreciative if you would leave a review for us and let us know. Let me know what you think of it. And I can't wait to just continue creating some amazing content for you this year to really help you to get to the goal that you set for this year, because I know you can. You have so much amazing value inside of you. And so just draw upon that, listen to your inner wisdom, and trust yourself. You've got this, okay? And I believe in you. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye. If you like this podcast, then you have got to sign up for my free on-demand video training, Grow Your Sales Doing What You Love, where I teach you in depth my simple process that you can implement right away to harness your mindset and your skills to grow your sales to whatever level you want. So go grab that now. The link is in the show notes, and I'll see you next time.